So I've kind of touched on having this problem before a few times, and unfortunately, it's something I'm still battling with. I feel horrible right now. Like physically, I feel like crap because I've just got this sugar addiction that I can't seem to break, and overeating, and my stomach feels heavy. Might be too much information, but I was like really constipated today, and like people say you shouldn't sit there if you can't go, but if you can't go and you're walking around feeling constipated all day, fuck, that sucks. Like, you can't feel good while you're like that constipated. It sucks. Anyway, I ended up going, but I still feel horrible. I'm like, I need to sort this out today. Today, not tomorrow, not January the 1st, fucking today. Need to fix this shit. So I'll tell you the last few days of what I've eaten and why I think it's a problem. It was Ellen's birthday at the weekend. She turned 31. And we went out for an Indian, had a curry and, the poppadoms and all that, naan bread, which is fine. But it was a lot of food. And then we went out with her family and went to a pub and had drinks and shots, which I don't often do. I didn't know if I was going to wake up with a hangover. Not that I'd had that much. I felt fine, actually. But then the next day, we had afternoon tea that her mum did, which already obviously contains some cakes. Well, it was scones with cream and jam. Sometimes this is a case of just habitually eating. There's no part of me that's like, hey, I'm really hungry. But maybe an hour later, obviously because it was Ellen's birthday and it was going to be her dad's birthday the next day, we all had some cake, some Connie the caterpillar. You might know Colin the caterpillar from Marks and Spencer's if you're in the UK. Well-known cake. Had a big old bit of that, man. And so yesterday being Monday, I was like, all right, I need to have a better day of eating because, again, this is the kind of stuff I'm eating on a daily basis. It's not like, oh, cake for the first time in ages. It's like, oh, hi, cake. I know you well at this point. We're well acquainted. We don't need any introductions. So I was at work yesterday and we've moved to this new office and it's quite small because before we're in a large office with the rest of the departments, but my department has been put into a smaller office just slightly down the road from the other building. I don't know if we'll be there long term. Apparently it's on a 3-month trial basis. I'm pretty sure we'll be there for good now. And the office is fine, but because there's so little what's the term? Basically, because it's so small, I can walk about 5 steps to the kitchen. There's no reason to get up. And I find that hard. I find it very hard not to want to just walk about, shake off. Just sitting there all day is like torture. Especially when you haven't got too many urgent work items and you're quite up to date. Like, it's very hard to stay engaged and motivated at times. Whereas at home, I can do some fucking jumping jacks if I want, and I won't look like a weirdo because nobody can see me. So it can be hard in the office, and I can start to turn to sugar as a way of coping emotionally with either boredom, stress, unhappiness, anxiety, whatever. And I find that I get very anxious when I have time to dwell. Like when I am sat about and I'm not feeling engaged, that's when my mind can go, what's the point? I'm feeling depressed. Is there any point in living? Should I kill myself? Like, it spirals and it just goes over and over. And every single thought is very replicating of the last. It's like, do I need to worry about that health symptom? Like, is that cancer? It's just hell. So I can understand why I'm turning to junk food to cope. But obviously it's not the answer. You don't go, oh, I've got a scary lump that I don't know what it is, so sugar will help to, like, the lump doesn't go, the thoughts don't go. It's just like this very, very temporary relief. This very temporary dopamine hit where I'm like, oh, I feel good for a moment because of the food, but it wears off so quickly. And I would say every time at this point afterwards, I just feel crap about myself for caving in again. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Again? So anyway, being in the office yesterday after I'd had all the cake and the Indian food and whatnot, I didn't have any breakfast because I was bloated because, oh, I didn't even mention, I got Ellen some of those Gillian, I think they're called, or Gillian chocolates. They're like hazelnut flavored, kind of like fondant chocolates or truffly. You know the ones, right? If you're in the UK, again, I don't know if they're outside of the UK. They look like little seashells, and they're very nice in moderation. If you had a few, it's like, that was good. But we had the whole box between us, which was like 10 each or 11 each. So I woke up feeling like I do again today. I went to work, I was like, I'm not hungry. Within a few minutes of getting there, I go into the kitchen, I'm like, there's a load of fucking cookies in here. And there's a load of chocolate bars, like, oh, dude. There were some bananas, but they weren't ripe yet, and I don't tend to get on well with bananas. That's a weird statement, like, bananas and I don't see eye to eye. But I find, hilariously, because I'm eating all this other crap, but bananas do seem to affect my digestion in a bad way. There's a few certain foods. I've noticed oranges can give me headaches. Eggs I can have an issue with. Again, feeling like detached and weird and brain foggy, so I avoid eggs for the most part. And anything citric, like oranges. I mentioned oranges, didn't I? But as well as the headaches, I can get some acid reflux. So I have to be kind of careful to a degree with what I'm eating, but that's all feedback. If I overdo chocolate or sweet things or alcohol, my body will give me feedback and go, oh, do you like that burning feeling in your throat? No. So stop eating so much chocolate, or don't drink alcohol because clearly you can't. I said to myself, I'm not, but it was like not very convincing. I was like, I'm not going to have any of those cookies today. I need to be good. And I was fine all morning. I got to like after 12, I hadn't eaten anything yet. I was still not overly hungry. But there's also a part that's like, oh, but this is the normal time I would have my lunch. So I just started getting my crisps. And once I started eating, I felt a bit more ravenous. Like, all right, now I'll have my Baby Bell. Now I'll have my yogurt. Probably 20 minutes went past. I'm like, cookies are in there. The fucking cookies. They're like triple chocolate. They're white chocolate. They're hazelnut chocolate. Could have had one. Could have said, all right, mate, have one cookie. Allow yourself one. But what did I do instead? I think during the afternoon I had 6. And these were the big chunky cookies that are like long life in the biscuit aisle rather than like baked where you have to eat them within like 2 days. They're probably like 200 calories each, so by having 6 of those, that's a lot, right? Bearing in mind, I'd bought all my food with me. I had a chicken sandwich, I had all the other stuff, an apple. Oh, the apple's so healthy, that'll undo it all. That's kind of how my mind thinks. I'll just have the apple at the end. Makes it not so bad. It doesn't. If anything, it makes it worse, because again, it's more sugar from the apple. And because they have these chocolate bars at work, and it's like, yeah, you can just help yourself, have one a day. You know, we'll just supply them, we'll refill once the chocolate bars are gone. I find it very hard to just go, I won't have it, because like, it's free. And not many things in life are free. So I also had a Mint Aero bar, and again, as I was eating it, I was like, I shouldn't be eating this. I'm not even hungry. So this is a problem, clearly. So, oh, I didn't even finish the fucking story, fuck's sake. I get home, I feel tired, and I mostly feel tired all of the time, and I think a lot of it has to do with my diet, and my blood sugars must be like all over the place. And now I think when I try and come off sugar, even for a brief time, like my blood sugar sinks. So if I'm not eating regularly because of the addiction to the sugar and my body expecting it to kind of fuel myself, I crash so easy. But in the evening, what did I have for dinner? I had some soup, mushroom soup, and a bit of ciabatta, which I guess is fine, although I had the whole soup. I should have just had half. It was a lot. I like mushrooms, but it was very mushroom heavy. Like the soup itself is mushroom flavor, and the amount of mushrooms chopped up in there, it was a lot. I think it was the Heinz one, if you are interested. Like the fresher one, not in a can. In a cardboard box. Anyway, that's more info than you need about my fucking soup. But there's part of me that's like, there was that bit of cake we brought home. So I say to Ellen, have that cake, have that last bit of cake from your birthday. She's like, no, because she's following a gym plan and she's been, over her birthday. This is bad, the way she's been eating by her standards. And that's all I need. No? Someone's got to eat it. That cake's gonna get dry if it ain't eaten. So I'll volunteer for this one. I'll eat it. And again, what happens? I eat the cake. Halfway through, I'm like, I have fucked up today. I told myself I would be good. I've had like 6 cookies. I've had the mint aero bar. Now I'm having a bit of cake. What the fuck is wrong with me while eating it? Like numbing myself with the food, going, yeah, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with me, but this chocolate cake is kind of nice, I suppose. It doesn't even have that appeal anymore. It's like this weird habit, so I have to break it today. I'm sick of looking myself in the mirror and feeling so pathetic that I can't get hold of this. Looking at my belly expanding, feeling bloated, just feeling fucking shit about myself. Wanting to slap myself in the face because I'm like, why the fuck am I still dealing with this problem? You pussy. You fucking wimpy bitch. All right, it's a bit harsh, isn't it? A bit of self-love. Oh, it's all right. You'll be okay. I sound mental now. I don't know. Like, I'm literally talking to myself in this room. If the camera wasn't on, I would be classed as fully insane. Luckily, with the camera rolling, partially insane. So it's all right. But no, today I'm going to keep a note of everything I eat. I'm not eating chocolate today. Like, if someone comes to my house with a gun and says, you eat that chocolate bar, I'm going to shoot you in the fucking head. I go, well, I told myself I wouldn't do it, so you're going to have to shoot me. That would be a weird scenario, wouldn't it? What do you want? What do you want? I'll give you all my money. I don't want your money. I want you to eat this chocolate bar. What? Imagine that. Be nutty. So yeah, no chocolate today. And Ellen still has some chocolates that she got for her birthday. If she offers them to me later, no thanks, Ellen. I can't. I won't. I will not allow myself today. Because what I need to do, clearly, is get a few string of days where I'm like, hey, I didn't have chocolate today. I didn't have junk. I'm going to write down, what did I have? If I fuck up today, dude, I'm checking myself into therapy or something, because if I cannot go one day without some junky food, then this is even worse than I thought. But I'm not going to fuck up today. For one, I don't want to because I feel horrible. I don't feel hungry again. And this is my problem. People say that breakfast is the most important part of the day. I don't know if that's actually true, because technically breakfast is whenever you're breaking fast. So whatever you eat first is the most important thing. But I think to a degree that's true, because if you start your day eating, oh, have a bowl of ice cream for breakfast, clearly that would be stupid. But I think if you eat too late, then you kind of suddenly, because you've maybe left it, and I am going to leave it now, I don't want anything because I am feeling full, but when I eat, I'll have something light, maybe a protein shake, that's it. And then for lunch, chicken sandwich, pack of crisps, apple. If I feel really hungry still, some grapes, a little yogurt. For dinner, I'm making spag bowl with corn, because me and Ellen don't tend to eat a lot of meat, and she definitely doesn't eat meat apart from occasionally fish. So I do corn spag bowl with some garlic bread each, a couple of bits of garlic bread each. And that should be enough food for the rest of the day, right? But normally it's not. Normally to me it's like snack, and then after dinner snack, and then just before bed I'll have an ice cream or a lolly. So consider this, I guess, part of a series of me desperately trying to overcome this issue I have. I think it is an eating disorder, I really do at this point. And I don't want to label myself, because I've already given myself a lot of labels for different mental health problems, but really these are all part of the same. It's me trying to numb my emotions, not being able to cope with how I feel, thinking for some reason that it's going to help take that away when really I know otherwise at this point. It's no different, well, in a way it's probably easier, but it's no different, I was going to say, than breaking any other addiction, like to drugs, like to cocaine. Not that I've ever touched drugs, so I can't compare the two, but it is this habit. You have to get those days and go, all right, I'm on a streak now, I haven't had it, I can do this. But you have to get to the first day, you have to get that first day out of the way. And I reckon if I can keep this up for a week, the first few days will probably be terrible, because my body's so used to running on sugar. I'll probably be exhausted because my body's just been able to cope with, oh, we're just running on this junk food. But anyway, I think the video is long enough. Thank you for watching. For those of you that are still here after however many months or years you've been watching my channel. Or for anybody who's clicked this and hasn't watched me before and is dealing with some kind of addiction to sugary crap. We can do this, but it's on us. No one's going to stop us putting the food in our mouths but us. So today's going to be a successful day. I'm going to get a string of them under my belt, and it's going to be a fucking problem of the past. Cheers for watching. Goodbye.